Hello again, Knights fans, and welcome to the 11th edition of the 2016 Knights Baseball Roundup. I'm Tommy Mead here with head coach Gary Puccio. Coach, you played 4 games against Wagner last weekend. You split, lost 2 games in a doubleheader on Friday, won 2 on Saturday in a doubleheader. After the weekend, you now sit at 21 and 23 on the year, 11 and 12 in the NEC. You're in 4th place, about a game and a half back of Central Connecticut. Let's talk about the 21 wins. This is the 15th 20-win season in the 67-year history of FDU baseball, but it's the second straight and the third in your 6 years. What do you think of your team's performance this year?
Yeah, 20 games is always a mark of a respectable season. So it's nice that we got there again. And like you said, it's 3 times since I've been here, and I'm pretty proud of that. And back-to-back seasons, but we still got other goals ahead of us. So as much as it's nice to win 20, that doesn't get us over the threshold that we want, and that's making the playoffs.
You mentioned the playoffs. As you look ahead here now, you only have 8 games left in the season, 8 left in the conference. Do you start to look at the matchups for the playoffs, the NEC tournament potentially, or some of the other breakdowns as you look to see what's going to happen the final 3 weeks of the regular season?
Yeah, more so at what's going to happen the last few weeks because we finished a week before everybody else. So we have the bye the last week, which means we're not really going to know how LIU or Wagner or Central have done against some teams yet because they'll all have 4 more games to play than we do. So that's a factor. That's definitely a factor in getting in. And, hopefully the weather's been an issue. Things have been issues. But, I told the guys it's in their hands. I told them just basically go split each series from here on in. We should be in pretty good shape. And obviously we did it the hard way last weekend.
Now, one thing before we get too far ahead, that first win on Saturday was the 20th win of the season. It was also your 400th career victory, so congratulations to you on that milestone. What's it feel to have 400 career wins?
I'll tell you, I can't say that it isn't special. It is special. I won my 300th year. Ryan Cressy hit a 3-run home run for me in the 10th inning. My first year here, that was my 300th win. And winning 400 at FDU makes it pretty special. It's my 400th lifetime, obviously not at FDU, but I've gotten wins number 300 and 400 both here. And when you start getting older, those milestones mean a little more because you realize there aren't too many of them left. So that's probably the last personal hurdle I'm going to get over. So it was a nice one to have.
Coach of the Wagner series, you lost the 2 games on Friday, 6-3 and 7-0. Then you won 2 on Saturday. The big difference on Saturday, you got 2 complete game pitching performances. How great has it been for you to be able to hand the ball to your starters this year and just let them go out there and win?
Yeah, Timmy, Corey, Logan, and Chris Cashmore are combined something like 18 and 8. I mean, it's mind-boggling how good they've been. They've just been super. And yeah, I mean, this is probably the best starting staff I've had in a long, long time. And the nice part is they're all back. So, 3 of them are freshmen, so they're going to be around for a while, and gives you great hope for the future that we're going to be competitive for a long time to come. And Timmy kind of had a rough outing, and kind of expected because we threw like 120 pitches a week before, and he's only been starting for a couple of weeks, so he kind of flattened out a little early for us. Chris pitched another great game, and there was nothing in the 5th, and he gave up a couple of runs. And Logan's Logan, and thank God for Logan because he manages for us to climb his back and just carry us into victory when we needed it. And I thought Corey's performance Sunday was absolutely outstanding. I think he threw 97 pitches in the entire game and complete game victory and a win that we really had to have.
Offensively, you had a late comeback in that final game of the series. Let's talk about 2 players in particular. The first one we'll mention is Pat McClure, who hit over 500 a week. What have you seen out of Pat in the last couple of weeks?
Pat's a winner, and Pat's one of those guys. I told this to Justin and my coaches this year that I said he's the kind of kid that his total batting average is never going to be great. It's going to be 270, 275, but he gets hits when it counts. The bigger the game, the bigger he plays, and he's always been that. And last year, Mount St. Mary's last game of the season, he broke the 4-4 tie with a home run, and that's just who the player he is. He's just a guy that when the big lights are on, he comes through. And he's my first recruit here, and this is his last couple of weeks playing here, and he's been very special.
Another guy who's off to a great season now, John Giakis, the senior, hit 2 more home runs this weekend. He's up to 11 on the season. What can you say about his performance?
Yeah, 11 home runs and still only 9 strikeouts, which is pretty amazing that he has more home runs than strikeouts. John's been consistent. He was always a good bat. He was always a consistent hitter. Last year, I think he was 92nd highest guy to strike out. And he's been a trooper. And talk about getting big hits. Wagner in the 9th inning, we're down 3-2. We got a couple guys on. We got a base hit from Byron Mann, a big base hit to drive in 2. and the jumper went over the wall to make sure there was no doubt that we were going to win that game.
Looking ahead now, Central Connecticut comes in here for a 4-game series, final home series of the year. What do you expect out of the Blue Devils?
It's your school. You tell me. Central's always good. They're always tough. Charlie's a great coach, does a terrific job with them. You know they're going to pitch well. You know they're not going to beat themselves. I mean, those are trademarks over his teams over the years, and it's not going to be easy. But the nice part is, this is a series where hopefully you get a couple of wins. We have a shot at third place, and it's them and us probably for third. And it's on our field, so we got a little bit of a home field advantage, and hopefully we'll make it mean something.
Now on Sunday before the series finale, we're gonna have Senior Day. 10 graduating seniors this year. What does that group of guys mean to this program?
Well, I mean, I think all you got to do is talk about the 3 5-year guys, Shane, Ryan, and Pat, and they've been involved. If we could make the playoffs again, that'd be 3 times in 5 years. So they've kind of turned the tide. I think it was something like 14 years before they had made the playoffs until these guys got here. So they've made a big difference. And when you add in, Joel and Johnny G and Dylan, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple of guys. I apologize for forgetting some names, but yeah, they're a special group. They basically changed FDU baseball, and years from now when they look back and they say, wait, all of a sudden FDU start making the playoffs again, FDU start winning again a little bit. Those are the guys that did it, and they can hang their hat on it. They're the ones that turned the program around.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for your time. Fans, you can watch the action this weekend live on necfrontrow.com and also catch up with the Knights for the rest of the season on FDUKnights.com.